Children have been permanently damaged by their experience in the homes.
He's ashamed of himself, he's in trouble all the time, and nothing he can do or say. He tries to get out of things, he tries to make a life for himself, and everything just goes astray.
The inquiry team, which launched its report today, found that in some homes the children were in control. In others there were harsh rules. In one home, no male, even a relative or friend, was allowed on the premises.
We found morale to be low. We found teams didn't work well together. And we found generally that the structure was just simply unworkable. That's why we've made strong recommendations for changes in structure.
The government will now take the inquiry one stage further, with an investigation into allegations of a paedophile ring in Islington's homes.
We've had a catalogue of neglect of children in care, children who ought to be able to trust the authorities to look after them. And there's a catalogue of failure of management by Islington Council.
But when childcare experts met the Minister this afternoon, they called for a comprehensive government strategy to improve residential care.
We've clearly had enough inquiries. Year after year we have inquiries, we have scandals. No one in this country has treated residential care seriously enough.
In Islington, the system not only failed the children, it also
claims of pimps, prostitution and drugs. An investigation by the Evening Standard last October painted a picture of a residential care system out of control. Among the allegations were a 15-year-old girl in care who said she was befriended by a pimp and a drug pusher. She talked of being stoned for months and describes how she was forced into prostitution. And a boy who said he was sexually abused by a residential worker. The man gave him alcohol and cigarettes and took him away at weekends. Today, a damning report by two independent experts says Islington's Social Services Department needs a shake-up from top to bottom. Social workers were having to deal with too much.
Social workers were being expected to work in very small teams and to tackle any problem which a service user might present them with. This meant that a social worker might have to deal with mental health problems, with child abuse, with people who have severe disabilities.
But the British Association of Social Workers says the report doesn't go far enough.
The report talks a lot about management, and it rightly says there is more work to be done, but it doesn't deal with any of the individual cases that social workers in Islington had drawn to the attention of the inquiry. That presumably means that the safety of those children remains with Islington, and it's for Islington to satisfy us, to satisfy the children and their families, that those children are safe.
Islington Council says staff won't be disciplined unless there's more proof. It admits it's at fault, but says it's a difficult area.
We have to try to find ways to persuade those young people, some of whom were prostitutes before they were taken into care, to change.
Aren't these precisely the people who need more care from you?
Yes, but...
Haven't you let them down?
I think it's extremely difficult to persuade young people to change.
One of the most serious allegations concerning a child abuse or paedophile ring is still being investigated by the Social Services Inspectorate, part of the Department of Health. Nobody knows when they'll report. But today the government has announced an inquiry into the council's failure to hold an earlier investigation.
I want to make sure that any allegation of abuse brought by any child or anybody associated with a child are efficient and swift. And my team of inspectors will be working closely with Islington Council to ensure that those are in place as quickly as we humanly can bring them in.
Islington has now appointed an overall supervisor of children's homes in the borough and a committee to implement the findings of the latest report.
Fiona Word's reporting.